There's a fire spreading across America. It's not red, it's not blue. It's rage from the working class. And leading that charge, Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. They're not just holding rallies. They're staging an uprising, city by city. Thousands are packing into stadiums, gymnasiums, open fields, not for concerts, but to fight the oligarchy. Their message? Enough is enough. Enough of billionaires rigging the system. Enough of workers being crushed while the rich get richer. Enough of corporate donors silencing democracy. In Greeley, Colorado, 11,000 people stood shoulder to shoulder. In Arizona, Nevada, and beyond, the crowds keep growing, and the chants are getting louder. We want justice, we want power, we want change. Sanders calls out Elon Musk by name. He calls out Trump. He calls out every politician too afraid to stand up to Wall Street. And AOC, she's not pulling punches either. She's reaching beyond her base, telling Americans across all backgrounds, you've been lied to, you've been robbed, and now it's time to fight back. But it's not just a campaign, it's a movement. A battle cry for workers, for renters, for the forgotten millions buried under medical bills, student debt, and low wages. They're calling it the war against oligarchy, and this time, the people are done waiting. So ask yourself, are you going to watch from the sidelines? Or will you stand with those who still believe America belongs to all of us, not just the billionaires? Because history is happening right now, and if you blink, you might miss it. Subscribe. If you believe in people over profit, subscribe. If you believe the system should work for everyone, and most of all, subscribe, because this fight, it's just getting started. In a luxury hotel in Riyadh, history was almost made. Behind closed doors, the US and Russia sat down for high-stakes talks, 12 hours of intense negotiation to halt attacks in Ukraine and secure the Black Sea. The world held its breath. But when the doors opened, no ceasefire, just a draft, just more waiting. And while leaders debated, missiles fell, 88 people wounded in Sumy, children among them. America's envoy echoed Kremlin lines, sparking outrage. Europe is nervous, worried the Black Sea might become Russia's next power grab. And Trump, he teased a deal on Ukraine's minerals, but peace still out of reach. Riyadh was a flicker of hope that flickered out. This isn't just diplomacy, it's a global chess match with real lives on the line. And it's far from over. If you want the truth behind global power plays, raw, real, and unfiltered, hit that subscribe button. The world doesn't pause, and neither do we. Israel is in crisis, and at the center of it all, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, now facing one of the most explosive political showdowns in Israeli history. Here's what's going on. Just days ago, Netanyahu moved to fire the head of Israel's internal security agency, Shin chief Ronen Bar. Bar isn't just any official. He's the man who led Israel's domestic intelligence during the devastating October 7th Hamas attacks. Bar publicly admitted failure, but also pointed toward Netanyahu's own government for ignoring warnings. And now, he's being pushed out. But why now? Because Bar is also investigating Netanyahu's alleged secret ties to Qatar in what's being called the Qatargate affair. Critics say Netanyahu is retaliating, removing those who pose a threat to his power. The Israeli Supreme Court immediately stepped in, issuing a legal injunction to block the firing, triggering a rare constitutional standoff between the government and the judiciary. But that's not all. Netanyahu's cabinet also passed a no-confidence vote against Attorney General Gali Baharav-Miara, the same official overseeing multiple corruption investigations into Netanyahu himself. The message is clear. Anyone who challenges him is being removed. And the public. They're not staying silent. Mass protests have erupted across Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. Legal scholars warn this could spiral into a full constitutional breakdown. Former justices fear the collapse of Israeli democracy. This isn't just political drama. This is a leader under fire, using every lever of power to survive. So ask yourself, is this about national security, or is it about protecting one man from justice? If you believe democracy matters, if you think truth should still mean something, then hit that subscribe button. Because what's happening in Israel today could happen anywhere tomorrow, and we'll be here to break it down, every step of the way. In a courtroom in Washington, D.C., one woman just made history and sent shockwaves through the Pentagon. Her name is Judge Reyes, the first Hispanic woman and openly LGBTQ+ judge ever appointed to the D.C. District Court. But this week, she did something few dare to do. She blocked Donald Trump's executive order banning transgender people from serving in the U.S. military. Yes, blocked it. In a bold 79-page ruling, she didn't hold back. She called the policy what it is: discrimination, said it stigmatizes transgender persons as inherently unfit, and that it likely violates the Constitution. And then, the backlash hit. Trump's Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth took to social media, mocked her, called her Commander Reyes, told her to report to a military base if she wants to play soldier. But Judge Reyes, she didn't flinch. In court, she accused government lawyers of misleading her, gaslighting the court. She saw through the spin and made one thing crystal clear. You don't get to erase people's rights just because you hold power. Thousands of transgender service members have already served, sacrificed, and died for this country. And now, a judge had the courage to say they deserve better. But this is more than a legal ruling. This is a battle for dignity, for truth, for who gets to belong in the country they've sworn to protect. Reyes drew a line. And now the entire nation is watching. So ask yourself, are we going to let fear and politics silence our soldiers? Or will we stand for a future where every American, no matter who they are, has the right to serve? If you believe in that future, if you stand for justice, even when it's hard, then hit that subscribe button. Because this isn't just a story. This is the fight for America's soul. And we're just getting started.